Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 77 of Impact Makers. And Dustin, I have a question for you today. The last few episodes, we've talked about the taboo topic of hours, charge hours. They're not the be all, end all, be all. We've talked about focusing on completion. We've talked about limiting your distractions.
Mhm.
Inside a firm, if you could wave your magic wand and you could help the firm understand what people should be working on. Like they come into the day, start their day. Where do they look? What do they do? How do they interact with what needs to be worked on? Because like right now, it's super busy. Like there's plenty of work in the door, all different types of work. Doesn't matter, if it's a tax return, if it's a financial statement engagement, if it's CAS, it's all of it. So you're in charge, Dustin. Where should people be looking to know what they're supposed to be working on?
So ideally, the workflow systems would be doing a better job of helping us navigate this and identifying what is priority and having some automation in there that helps to prioritize for people. Because as humans, we can do a pretty good job of if we know the goal of the ultimate goal of the process, we can do a pretty good job. But that takes some experience too. So um, you know, ideally, long-term workflow systems are really helping with this. But as you said at the beginning, where I'd be focusing now is within the workflow system, looking at your level in the process, giving guidance as to here's what you need to be doing over the next 2 weeks, over the next month, whether it's tax or audit, deadlines coming up. It's if you're at a staff, all levels, it's focused on completion. What's close to the finish line? Let's get those across the finish line, right? What does that mean for staff? Staff, we need to make sure that anything that's overdue, we should have been preparing this a while ago. It's been in ready for us. We haven't gotten to. I need to be getting to those, but at the same time, I need to be finding at logical stopping points in the day. I need to find time to clear review comments and update files, update returns from financial statement audits that have passed, or the fieldwork time has passed, or tax returns that have gone to review have come back with some updates, that type of thing. So as a staff, you got to balance. I want to start new work and get it to the finish line and get it ready for a reviewer, but I can't forget all these other projects that I've worked on that have come back with updates, review notes that I need to get through so we can get it out the door. So we've got to find logical stopping points in the day between returns, between tasks, that type of thing, to knock that stuff out. At a manager level, it's clearing roadblocks for your staff, it's reviewing timely, and it's that focus on completion as well. What can we what can I focus on getting done today needs to be the mindset. So as I'm going into workflow, what's close to the finish line that I can move to the finish line? It may be I need to review this file, or I need to review this financial. It may be I need to reach back out to this client because we're just missing this one thing before we can issue or before we can finalize that tax return. So managers removing roadblocks, helping your team, helping your clients get to the finish line. Partners, it's overseeing it, but you're part of the process too if you have some type of review role. So you can't lose sight of, while we expect staff and managers to be timely, partners, you need to be timely as well with your reviews. If you're doing a signer review on a tax return, if it's been sitting in your queue for 2 weeks, why is that? The best firms are expecting their partners to look at something within a couple of days, 3 days, on the tax side. That's a best practice. So when stuff is ready, we've got to be getting through it. And if you find yourself, hey, I'm backlogged, I got 50 returns in here to do a signer review, maybe that's an opportunity to have a conversation once we get past busy season of leveraging some of that work in the process. Maybe a senior manager can take on that signer response, or a manager can take on that signer responsibility, elevate you to more of a client relationship role, and take it out. So we all have to play our part in the process if we're in the process to get the work done. And especially this time of year, it's important that we have all hands on deck, focusing on completion, focusing on what is the priority to get work done.
Yeah. And then I'll just reiterate, the workflow system has to make it crystal clear at the staff level what part of the process is this in? Is it waiting to be prepped? Is it coming back for review comments? What is it? And have it make it easy to understand first in, first out. So if it hasn't started prep, how long's it been sitting there waiting for me to grab it? I'm going to grab the oldest one. And we hit home, we grab the oldest one. And then logical stopping points of the day are to get those review comments cleared to keep that thing moving. At the
Mhm.
manager level, it's a more global view where I can see, wait a second, we've had this for way too long. I need to jump in and help.
Yep.
Not point blame, just jump in and say, okay, where can I help get this work moving along?
Mhm.
And similar kind of thing at the partner level
Yep.
if they're involved in the process, right? So
Yeah.
the workflow
If they're
system
hands
needs to
on,
show that.
they need to be actively involved in the workflow system as well.
Yep.
There's reasons why someone may not be hands on, and we got to, that's more of a client relationship role in the process. And like I said, we've got to use that as an opportunity to leverage. But if you're in the process, we need you to follow the process.
Yep.